call you about that. I'll talk to you about that in a minute. Or
And
later.
After the meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. I seen it on the website, that's the only reason I knew about it.
All right, it is actually 5:32. I apologize for that. Going to call the October Ozark City Council meeting to order at this time. Want to thank everyone for being here. It's awfully nice looking out and having people look back at you instead of it just being empty space. So thank you for being here. Tonight I have asked Stephen Keller to lead us in our prayer. And then we're very fortunate tonight to have the 2024 Miss Teen Franklin County. Her name is Jewel Brown, and she will be leading us in our pledge. So Stephen, if you will come up, please. You all will please stand.
Lord God, thank you for this evening, Lord. Thank you that you've put these people in these places and positions to not only serve our community, Lord, but to also serve us. Father, I just want to thank you that we all have hearts here that love you and want to serve you, Lord. I just pray that as we talk and as we speak and listen and hear, God, that our hearts would be open to you and your leading, Father. We just thank you for this evening, God, and we ask that this town, this awesome town that we call home, would continue to be held in your hands and by your heart close. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you. Ms. Jewel, if you will come to the front, please. Ready? Okay.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Susan, if you will, our roll call, please. Meyer,
Yeah.
Harris,
Yes.
Minor,
Yes.
Melton,
Yes.
Maker,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
All right, the first thing we have is approval of minutes. We first need to approve the minutes from August. You had a chance to look at those. Do,
Go ahead.
okay, do
We-
I?
We got one correction.
Okay, that's what I was fixing to ask. If you've had a chance to look at them, if we have any corrections or anything you need to talk about, let's go for it.
I want to thank her for rewriting these. Third page, second paragraph, it says Lauren Meyer asked if the streets were involved in would be city streets, and it was actually me that asked that.
Oh, okay,
Four
I
lines,
see it, I
four
see it.
lines from the bottom.
Yep, you see it. Yep.
That's all I had on that.
Do we have any other corrections? If not, I need a motion to approve the August 12th council meetings at this time, please.
I'll make a motion to approve them with corrections.
Maker,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Minor,
Yes.
Melton,
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yeah.
And next you have your September 9th meeting notes. Do you have any corrections or additions to that?
I move to approve.
I'll second.
Some. Meyer,
Yeah.
Harris,
Yes.
Minor,
Yes.
Melton.
Yes.
Maker,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
All right. Next, we have the financials.
I had a question on the building maintenance. We show to be 833% over budget on that, and I've just need a clarification on why that is $2,200 over when we haven't budgeted that much in the first place. If I just need to know.
Because for the Kimbrough building, to pay Mr. Smaltz, it was $25,000. I was not gonna have her put that in miscellaneous. I wanted it to where under building, so when we thought about it, we knew right where to go. So that is, and when you all approved, the ordinance or the resolution for me to work with that, we did not establish how we were, what account those bills were coming out of. So that will need to be something, because we are gonna have another bill coming from that in November's meeting. We will need to reappropriate and fix that then.
Okay.
But that building, it was the only place that she and I could,
Okay.
no, because I did not want anything like that in miscellaneous. Even though we have the documentation that it says Mr. Smaltz, wanted to
Okay.
make sure that we had that there. And we can always fix that at the end of the year. She can move that around once you all appropriate next month. If you want to make a line item just for the Kimbrough building, which I personally think you need to do that, because when we take that back before the judge, we need to have everything printed out on.
Well, I think we need to go ahead and create that line item for that now, and go ahead and move this over to that line item. That way, like you said, we will have it all together when the
Yeah.
time comes, so.
Because we need to try to get all of our money back on that.
Yes.
Can we do that tonight, or do we need to have,
I think you need to get it done,
Okay.
and then we need to
Okay.
talk about getting it all at once.
okay,
All right, do that.
okay,
I
so,
don't think you want to certify just a partial.
No, if we got more money coming in, let's wait and do it all at one time then. Then I move to approve the financials at this time.
I'll second that.
Meyer,
Yeah.
Hyland,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Minor,
Yes.
Milton.
Yes.
Next, you have your department head reports. Anybody have any comments or questions? Everyone is here except Tanya, and she is in Oklahoma City for a conference for the water department. If not, we will move on to commissions and committees. First, I will ask Ms. Reagan Harbor to come to the podium. And I think yours is on the planning commission.
On Thursday, October 3rd, Ozark Planning Commission met. The only item we had on our agenda that night was Steve Woodard's request to rezone 101 East Main Street and 201 South First Street from C2 to C1. That is where Arkansas Brewing Company is, and their intentions are to do the brewery, of course, and then also storage. And I have Mr. John Wright here if he would like to expand on anything. He's a representative for Mr. Woodard who was able to attend. Is there anything you'd like to add on to that or your plan?
Nothing, Greg, it's just changing the zoning allowed, the new building with the old building is 6 feet from the property line, we just want it parallel with it. We just plan to expand, like she said, with storage and cooling, any other future plans we might have.
So, the committee voted to bring that forth to, the commission voted to bring that forth to city council this evening and propose the rezoning of 101 East Main Street and 201 South First Street from C2 to C1.
Somebody have any other questions for Reagan?
So this is necessary because you're adding on?
We're adding on storage, yes,
Okay.
additional cooling. And from my understanding, he could build it how it is, but he wants it to just parallel with the building, the way it looks okay, that's why we don't want to just build anything random, you know, we want it to
So is it a whole new building itself, or is it gonna be attached to the current building,
it will eventually be attached to the current building.
but not as of right now?
Not current. But to build the building, you will be terminating it once we add on more and once we wind up with the same building.
The C1 takes away the setbacks on the side properties.
Oh, is that what the deal is?
D2, 15 foot
Okay.
to the sides, but if it's C1,
And the setback we're concerned about is against that stage, right?
where that little, the fence is, the
Mm-hmm.
plastic chain, that is the property line. But that old building was built over that way.
Will that be next to the city's building?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So it's only affected
motion to read the ordinance, please?
I will make a motion to read the ordinance.
I'll second.
Tyler?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Melton?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Minor?
Yes.
Meyer?
Yes. An ordinance amending the zoning regulations and zoning maps of the city of Ozark and for other purposes, whereas the planning commission conducted a public hearing on October 3rd, 2024, at which the proposed amendment was discussed with members of the public, and whereas the public hearing was advertised in the paper of general circulation in the city of Ozark at least 15 days prior to the meeting, and whereas the city council has heard the report that the Ozark Planning Commission had a motion to approve with a second, so the motion passed. The Ozark Planning Commission did recommend an amendment of the Ozark zoning regulations and maps. Said property is owned by Steve Woodard, Arkansas Brewing Company. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Ozark, Arkansas, that the zoning regulations and map of the City of Ozark shall be amended to reflect that the zoning of the following described property located in Ozark District of Franklin County, Arkansas is hereby modified from C2 to C1 to wit, Lot 1 in the north part of Lot 2 in Block 24 in the town of Ozark, more particularly described as beginning at the northwest corner of said lot and running thence south 29 1/3 feet, thence east the width of said block, thence north to the northeast corner of said Lot 2, thence west to the place of beginning, also part of the east half of the southwest quarter in section 36, township 10 north, range 27 west, more particularly described as beginning at the northeast corner of said block 24 in the town of Ozark, running thence south 73 1/3 feet, thence east 40 feet, thence north 73 1/3 feet, thence west 40 feet to the place of beginning. Total area hereby conveyed being 73 1/3 feet by 100, commonly known as 101 East Main Street in Ozark, Arkansas 72949, and part of Lot 2 and Block 24 of Ozark described as beginning at a point 29 1/3 feet south of the northwest corner of said Lot 2 and running thence south 14 2/3 feet, thence east the width of the block, thence north 14 2/3 feet, thence west to the place of beginning. Also lots 3, 4, and 5, all in Block 24, Ozark described as beginning at the southeast corner of said Block 24 and running thence north 146 2/3 feet, thence east 40 feet, thence south 146 2/3 feet, thence west 40 feet to the place of beginning. The area of all lands herein conveyed by J.R. Davidson and Lily Davidson by warranty deed is tally. Said deed being recorded in record book YY at page 61 in the office of the circuit clerk and recorder for Franklin County, Arkansas, and Ozark, Arkansas, commonly known as 201 South First Street, Ozark, Arkansas 72949. Physical address 101 East Main Street, Ozark, Arkansas 72949, and 201 South First Street, Ozark, Arkansas 72949. Section 2, all ordinances, parts of ordinances, or regulations in conflict herewith are hereby repealed.
Couple of things before we go forward. I missed who made the motion and second. Who made the motion to
Vargas.
Arden?
And Lewis second.
You said Lauren. Lauren.
Lauren.
This ordinance also will be 2024-13.
Okay.
Instead of 14, it's 13. Keep those in order for that. 2024-13.
To dispense and do second, third.
Okay, I need a motion to dispense with the second and third reading and read by title only, please.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
I'll second that.
Tyler,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Melton,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Minor,
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes. An ordinance amending the zoning regulations and zoning maps of the city of Ozark and for other purposes. An ordinance amending the zoning regulations and zoning maps of the city of Ozark and for other purposes.
Need a motion to approve, please.
Make a motion to approve.
Need a second?
I'll second it.
Baker,
Yes.
Melton,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Minor,
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Tyler, go into the committee reports, guys, you have on your desk, on the Miller folder, an envelope there. Tanya has given you the 2023 audit report to look over, and that will be on November's agenda for discussion and questions. So that is what that is for approval for that night as well. So next, we have committee reports. Mr. Melton, would you give us the street and water, please?
Our last meeting, we didn't have a great lot that we had to talk about. We did have some, one of the subjects with the water department is the improvements on the west end water tank that I think the health department is requiring us to make some improvements at a certain time, and we discussed at that time we'd like to go ahead and repaint that tank. Since we're gonna have the crew here to do it all at the same time and save money, but she is in the process of working with Weir and Associates right now, Weir Hawkins, there's our engineers, on getting some more bids and some more information on that. So we will be covering that at our next council meeting in November. Street department, Michael Brasso brought up that he'd like to do some more paving projects. We've got 2 that he's wanting to do, and I will let him explain what he's got and what he's wanting to do with the money's left in his budget for this year. Michael, could you? Sounds like we're wanting to use this McKenzie asphalt to do both projects. Our money is gonna be close, it sounds like, to be able to do both. He thinks we've got right at the amount to do it. I think we need to go ahead and do it, and if we are a little short, we can pick it up, you know, to clean it up.
Yeah.
But I think since we got this crew here in the lower bid, I think we need to go ahead and move forward with it. So if we need to do that by ordinance, we need to
Motion.
make a motion to.
Michael,
Motion
when
to
did they say they could start?
Accept the bid and approve the expenditure.
I was waiting
Okay,
to make sure we were gonna go with McKenzie.
okay,
That's who we decided to go with, I'll make that phone call tomorrow.
okay.
And if for some reason they can't get done before winter sets in, then I say we back up and all go for it. I mean, I think there was about $10,000 total between the two.
You got a time limit you wanna put on this, Mike?
Well, I mean, it's weather permitting, so.
But I mean, before they could start, you got a certain time frame you want them to start? If they're not gonna be able to, do you wanna go to the next?
We need to get it as soon as possible, so.
You wanna give them 30, 45 days, or what? Just so we have an idea to fall back on.
Yeah, I mean, that's, once you start getting into November, especially towards the end of November, it's hard to get asphalt laid. I would say no later than 30, because code crew get, look at their schedule too. If we're way too long, we won't be on their schedule.
Okay, so can we put this in a motion to let, Kinsey?
Accept the bid and to approve the expenditure.
Okay. So I'm gonna make the motion to accept the bid for $45,097 for, the overlay on 14th Street and $49,289 for the asphalt overlay on North 36th Street. That includes mobilization for equipment for both jobs. And we need to approve that expenditure and give them 30 days to complete the project. I know it's a lot to say, but that's my motion. Need a second.
Artist did.
Yeah.
Minor.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Melton.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, next, Mr. Howard for Parks and Recreation, please.
We met on September 17th. There was several things discussed. We don't have no update on the Miracle League as of right now, but I've known them
No.
last month. The windows have been started. They all look good, so.
We actually have one window left and then one larger section if anyone is interested.
As everybody's aware, the city and the school district went into an agreement for a new locker room for the girls' softball field. The school is paying for the locker room and the materials on city property. Well, we discussed the concession stand roof needs to be replaced currently. Well, Michael went ahead and got a couple bids to see what it would cost to replace that with a metal roof that would match everything. He came in, and also at the same time, we're gonna have to look at replacing both the right field fences and the left field fences. So we got pricing on that, and tried to do the project all at one time. Michael said he had enough money in his budget for the roof and both fences, Michael? You wanna elaborate a little bit on that, Michael?
I got two estimates for the roof. One was from Chuck's Metal Building. His estimate came in at $65.88. And then I got one from Harris Construction, and their bid came at $4,400.
Now, Chuck's building is the one doing the project for the school, correct? So, and the fences, we got a bid of them for, from the fence man, that we can do both fences and they will straighten up our center field fence for roughly $3,800. And that's replacing, putting a 12-foot gate on the home side. But we need to look at trying to do all this at one time while the school's there doing everything. We'd like to finish it up by the first year. Is that what you thought, Mike? So, anybody got any questions? Michael's got it in his budget. So, doing the roof and the fence, we're looking roughly around 10,000 for everything. So, an update on the Overlook Park. Main Street is looking to replace some lights and stuff up there. had them get in contact, Teresa Wagner in contact with Michael about if they wanted to spend some of their money up there to kind of
That's
freshen up.
Ozark
the-
Pride and Beautification,
Oh, Ozark
it's
Pride
not Main
Beautification,
Street.
sorry. But kind of freshen up the overlook and stuff up there. So if I got with her she contacted me today again, so. But everything else is going good.
Okay, you're gonna need to go back and decide which bid you're going to accept. So you had the 6588 or the Harris for 4400.
Which one are you feel more
It's
comfortable with,
actually up
Michael?
to you to decide. The council doesn't have to be involved in it.
I mean, Harris did the roof downtown on that old Anderson building. Thought it turned out good. I don't see why they wouldn't do just as good a job on that building.
No, we don't have to wait for the school to do their project on that one, do we?
No.
Mm-mm.
If you're okay, I'd like to go with Harris.
Okay, so is that what you had on yours?
Yes.
Okay. We don't have it written down there, but we need to, under the old business, and we had discussed this last month, the tanker. And Nick, I believe you're gonna discuss that, please?
Yeah, we only had the one bid for the 2,500 gallon tanker. 28,500. Exact figure, a little over 28,000. We'll pay with that out of our Act 833 funds. It's not out of the city budget, that's state money, state funded money that the fire department get every year. They'll put the money in there for it. If we wanna do it, I'll call him in the morning, I have probably about 3 weeks, is what he said.
Just need a motion to approve the expenditure by the council, since it's over 10.
I'll make the motion to approve that.
I'll
Second.
that.
Meyer,
Yeah.
Harris,
Yes.
Minor,
Yes.
Melton,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
How many of you in this room have heard for the past, I will say at least 8 years, the possibility of relighting the river bridge? Show me a hand. Okay, and I may be off on my years. That has been discussed. I've got with the street department, and Michael will talk about that in a few minutes with us. The Advertising and Promotion Committee had decided that they were going to take this project on. And Ben met, y'all met last month or last, yeah,
Yeah.
September,
Mhm,
yes.
September.
He presented his project, his ideas to the A&P. We have met several times, myself and Ben, with this company, ESG, and I'm going to let them have the floor here in just a moment. But just keep in mind, number one, how old the bridge actually is, the light fixtures, that has been our biggest problem. And we're going to have them come up now. Can you, Shane, can you dim the lights just a little bit, please? So this is Janelle Booth. If you will come forward, please.
Good evening, everyone. Roxy did a great job of introducing myself. I'm Janelle Booth. I'm with ESG. And this is Kerwin Brown, the lead engineer on this project. I don't work in a vacuum. I have a team that are supporting me. Ross was here last week, but unfortunately, he's our lighting manager, but unfortunately, he already had some vacation plans, so he's not here, but he is in support, actually. Ross is our lighting manager for across the whole United States, and we're probably in about over 40 states now. So we're real fortunate to have Ross right here based out of Tulsa, so not very far from Ozark. But I just want to take a step back and say thank you so much for giving me some time, Roxy and everybody here. I won't take up too much of your time because I know how illegal it is, but what an exciting, project. I mean, this bridge is one of the most recognized and beautiful bridges in the United States, and it's right here near downtown Ozark. So, really excited to be a part of this project, and for the community. It's, as you all know, I'm not telling you anything, it's right on this door, it's etched. And so, super excited. The bridge was built, during the Great Depression, as you can see here. So it really created a lot of jobs for the people and the communities around Ozark, as well as connected Franklin County for, across all of Arkansas. So it's created, a new economic opportunity. As Roxy did allude though, the lighting is an old system. Think about, it was put in the 90s. Think about how much things have changed in the 90s as far as technology goes, right? I mean, we had dial-up internet in the 90s, you know? So the lights are, well, it's a beacon of light, you know, for the bridge and for the city to light up the whole near downtown area. It's just time for upgrade. There's all kinds of new technology out there. And, you know, it's one of the most lucrative tourist attractions in this area. And year after year, people come down here just to photograph this wonderful piece of art that's right here in Ozark. This picture kind of goes along with the day. It feels like fall, doesn't it, that picture? And today's the first real nice day of fall that we've had. So, next slide, please, Kerwin. This is what we're looking at doing. This is a rendering of what we're looking for on the bridge. And, you know, the town of Ozark has some hillbilly pride. So we will be able to display that with this project. We're going to be able to have all different colors, but of course, the purple and gold for the school and the town. Okay, next slide, please, Carla. But you've got to have some Razorback pride too. I'm a graduate from Arkansas, and if I didn't say earlier, I apologize. I'm from Fayetteville. So anyway, a lot of people go across this bridge to go to the Razorback game. So won't it be exciting if it displays the colors of the Razorback? Woo pig suey. All right. So really, for y'all, a lot of the people here, the business owners, we want to see a big economic return, right, for the investment of the bridge. And I really feel like bringing that LED technology where Roxy's going to be able to sit in her office and change the light colors. So at Christmas time, it can be green and red. And too bad we aren't going to have it for the LSU game coming up. We'll have any kind of variety that you want to do. It's going to be kind of similar to Little Rock, how they have that, if you've all gone across that bridge. But another thing about the design of the bridge is we're going to have all the lights at road level, and that's going to be a huge added plus for safety. And we will light both sides of the bridge, so you won't have any maintenance from up above and getting on that arch. And plus, it's better for this new design will have less glare than the old. Okay, next slide. And then this is a real collaborative project. We've been working on this for over 6 months. At this point, we really wanted to get all these other players on board before we kind of talked to the city council. And we have been working with RDOT, and we've got a letter from them. And we're going to be doing, you know, safety and traffic and permits with RDOT, as well as we've been working with the Corps of Engineers, and they've given us 100% approval to move forward with the project. We've already submitted some preliminary information. And then Bob is here with Cruz and Associates, and he's going to come and talk after I am finished, see if you all have any questions on the financing part of it. And then we've already talked to OG&E, and they've approved the lighting upgrade as far as the electrical service. They're not going to charge us anything for upgrading that service that's going to be needed. So we really have a lot of momentum, on this project. As Roxy said, you guys have been working on this for a long time, and now we have all of these, partners kind of in line, ready to go. So, we hope to keep that momentum and keep moving forward to get that hillbilly pride glowing. So, I guess at this time, I'll open it up to questions, or, if anybody has questions for Kerwin and I.
I do. Why not widen the arches? That's one of the prettiest parts of it.
Oh, it'll be lit up. Can you go back to the line? This is the rendering. Do you see how it is? It is lit up from the roadway. Instead of shining down on top of people.
Arches that are up over the bridge. You don't have any lights on that.
It's.
They should be lit from below.
Yes.
The light's directed up instead of having lights on top coming down.
So no lights on the arch that goes over.
The arch will be lit up from a street level instead of, I'm sorry?
It doesn't show that.
The other picture does, the right back one, it kind of shows the red underneath it.
It's shining up. It's safer than shining down through people's windows as they're driving. The LED light will be.
I just didn't see where.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. But yes, the archway will be lit up red or purple, whatever color you want. It's easier for maintenance, then they don't have to climb up on top of that big arch. But yes, we want that archway is one of the prettiest parts of the bridge, so we want that definitely to be
For my house
displayed.
anyway.
Any other questions? Kerwin, I forgot to mention, along with the technology, these new lights will last a whole lot longer. I missed that part, but, your current lighting system has a life of about 20,000 hours. This new one will be 90,000, is that correct?
Yeah,
Kerwin?
greater than 90,000, so if you ran them for 12 hours a night, they would last well over 20 years, or right at 20 years.
So, and part of the problem with your current system is that it's obsolete, so you can't hardly get the right pieces, and then when you do, it blows fuses and things like that, so that's why only a third of the bridge is lit right now, because you can't hardly, and they're so expensive to get, and you think you get the right one, you put it in and it blows fuses, so, at some point, all of it's gonna go dark in the next few years if we don't do something, so, I did forget to mention that, but what a beautiful honor to, be a part of such a fantastic project and a beacon for your city. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I really like it, it was really awesome. This is just a general question, but how is the state of the bridge? Like, as far as like a architectural standpoint, you were saying it was built during the Great Depression, so that's almost 100 years ago. How sound is it? This is what I'm trying to say. Structurally.
Structurally, I think it was redone in like the 60s, and it's had routine maintenance on the structure itself. That's right.
It's just the lighting that has not been updated.
Yeah.
And I want to clarify something right now, because I don't want anyone in this room to think that we did this behind anyone's back, but we had to get all of the approval like she had from the Corps of Engineers, RDOT, and because we have said this for years and years, we're working on the bridge, I mean, people have given up on it. They think when you say that, I mean, they'll look at you and laugh, okay? And because AMP is kind of spearheading this, and Angela can testify to that in her last meeting, I just want to make that clear that we were not trying to hide anything from the council or the citizens. We just wanted to get all our ducks in a row, so to speak, before it got presented to you. Because if RDOT and the Corps was not going to cooperate, or it was that we weren't going to meet their standards, there was no reason to go any further. So I just want to make that out there right now.
Kerwin, did I skip the last slide? I think I did. I did skip the last slide. So this is a little bit about ESG, and I won't go over in great detail, but we have over 4 we certainly have, the experience, but I'm an Arkansan and I'm super excited about doing a project in my backyard. Anyway, any other questions?
So I have one.
Yes, Brenda, back there.
You know, this all kind of came up the other day, and I know that a few years ago, that seems like Steve Outlaw had a plan for lighting the bridge with the different colors and so forth, and I understand that inflation has gone with COVID and everything. What's the big difference between the lighting plan that y'all are proposing compared to the plan that had been proposed previously? And has inflation really gone up that much in price?
I wasn't involved in that other work, so I can't answer to that.
And that was through I can't give you an answer on that. I know that Steve has not, let me back up. A&P felt like that because it just kept dragging out and no one was getting it done, they wanted to promote this city and they wanted to take this project on and use some of their funding back into the community. I do know that previously some of the people that had worked on that they would get to so far in and then they would just drop out. So they never got any further than, say, point C. They wouldn't see it to this end. So,
Have we asked any of those other folks to get some other options?
they have been very well informed that the bridge was a top priority. Yes, they have.
And there's only one.
I'm sorry, what?
And there's only one to consider.
That's who Ben and them felt like to go with. Because no one else had what we were needing to do this. Like you said, that has been, there's nobody in this room that can help me with the dates. That's probably been 6 or 7 years ago when they were looking at doing that project then. And it may have even been, Nathan, do you know?
Last meeting I heard about Steve talking about the last about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, he couldn't get the funding, there was just other issues. And that's why A&P decided at a meeting, and I do believe do you want to speak on that and let me hush?
I know that, I was on, Main Street years ago, and it was talked about there, but like you said, it never was followed up on, never went through any further. And I believe that one of the companies he talked with, it came to be where they couldn't take on the
Right.
job.
The one that John had looked
Yes,
at.
the one that John Rogers had looked
Yes.
at, yes. And so
I forgot about that one.
that's what's brought us to this.
Well, what I remember is that they couldn't get approval from the RDOT, the installation approval.
There was a lot of problems, and this one has went seamlessly.
Yes,
Yeah.
it really has. Met with RDOT twice, had 3 meetings with the Corps, and they were very cooperative and excited to have it. And they even came out and looked at it, so the lights affecting the barges, they have done all their study on that as well.
And Ben couldn't be here tonight, but he did say if anyone has any questions that he might know the answer to that Roxy and I don't. We have his email address, and you're welcome to email him to get any answers, but he had a previous engagement tonight, so he couldn't be here. And if you'll get with us after the meeting, we can get you his email address, and he'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Would you say there's gonna be a cost savings for power associated with the LED lights versus what we're looking at right now?
So if all the lights on the bridge.
Yes, exactly.
System were operating now, versus what we're proposing to install, if all those lights were operating, yes, there'd be about a $3,000 savings, but it's really gonna be about kind of a wash. You've got about a third of the lights operating now, what we install, your electric bill will be roughly about the same.
Okay, that's what I was getting at, okay.
Michael, would you care to just kind of elaborate on getting the lights, the difficulties that you have come across with that, and trying to change the ones on the arch?
Oh,
electricians that I talked to once I came on, none of them, their insurance won't back them to get on that bridge and work. Any of the local electricians. Now, have we talked to big out-of-state companies to come in and work on it? I have not, but there's no telling the cost of that. Plus, they still have the same problem of getting the parts. Because if we can't get the parts, how can they get the parts? It's not something that I have the crew to go work on this bridge safely, much less the know-how to do it. I'm not an electrician, none of my guys are electricians. But I know in the past it was a struggle, and it's worse now trying to get parts.
Well, will the old lighting system that's on there now, will it have to be removed? Or can we leave it, or what's the plan for that? Because we've got a lot of conduit and,
There's some conduit that we will reuse. It's in great shape. We've been out on the bridge and looked at it
okay.
and stuff. There will be additional conduit that will be added.
I was just curious, like, if you're not gonna light the arch, all that stuff that's up on the top, will that stay there, or is it gonna be removed, or? what's
That
your-
would probably be abandoned in place unless you guys wanted to look at removing it. We'd disconnect the lighting, right?
Right.
So it gets lit like
I
that.
understand.
Okay, do we have any more questions for Janelle? If not, we're gonna let Mr. Bob Wright with Cruz and Associates come up and just talk about finance options. I know, I will tell you that, Ben would like to commit over a period of time, 400,000 of it is what he presented the other night to the AMP Commission.
As he's passing that down, I'm Bob Wright, I'm with Cruz and Associates at the Table Office. Been there for a long time. I was talking to Vernon before the meeting started. I have worked with the city of Ozark on numerous financing options all the way back to the late 80s. So I think that just means I'm old. But when Vernon was mayor, we did deals back in the early 90s with him. So we've been around Ozark for a long time. I've been meeting with the mayor, with Janelle, with A&P, kind of looking at, so, speaking of lighting the bridge, it's not, it's a little over $1 million to do this project. And to have that kind of money to pay for that, is a little difficult. So we've looked at some financing options to present to you. And there's only 3 or 4 statutory legal options that we could use to do this. A lot of that's going to take months and months. We'd be here this time next year if we took some of these avenues. So what we're looking at here is that the city collects franchise fees from the various utilities that have access into the city. And this first page, we don't have 2023 yet. That might have come in here recently, but we don't have that number. You can see you've been having about $200,000 per year collections from your franchise fees from various utilities. 2022, for whatever reason, jumped up to $454,000. So we still have to investigate if that's just an aberration or if you'll actually increase the franchise fees. But the money is there, it's coming in, it's in your general fund. So this financing will have an impact on your general fund when you're looking at your budgets going forward. But that's where we start is, this is a revenue source that cities all across the state use to pledge towards the financing for projects just like this. So we've looked at and presented to the mayor and A&P really 2 options as far as the length of the financing. You don't want to go out here and do a 30-year financing. They've already said that maybe the lights are probably a 20-year type useful life. So if it's a $1,069,000 construction fund, the second page really shows what if we finance this over a 10-year period and what if we finance it over a 15-year period. 10-year, the interest rate right now would be about a 4.39%, and the mortgage, the principal interest payments per year for 10 years, be about $146,000 how to pay for this project. It's a quick process that you could probably have funds possibly in December if you got to, holidays coming up, it makes it a little bit difficult, but with an election stuck in there in 3 weeks, that kind of shuts the market down. But you could have funds in December, easily in January, and if you wanted to get started before that, we could handle the financing, and you could reimburse yourself from the funds once the transaction closes. So it is something that if the city wanted to pursue, we could get started with your bond attorney, which I've already spoken to on this, and we could start ramping up on that aspect to help pay for this project. The construction,
Construction, I think once we start, I think about a month or so, we get all materials, and then I would guess about 2 weeks.
so you could have the bridge lit by springtime, that time frame, sounds like.
Yeah. Early spring probably.
What bond council?
Y'all been using Mitchell Williams over the last number of years. Historically, y'all used the Friday firm, and they had a conflict with the railroad.
With the what?
The railroad,
Oh,
and chose to represent the railroad over the city. And that was probably 15 years ago, how long ago. So y'all been using the Mitchell firm since then.
So, Bob, if we went with this 10 years, it's gonna be the payment per year is between 146, right at 146, 147,000 a year, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
And that includes all costs, all fees, everything,
Right,
that's
okay.
all in.
And if I'm understanding correctly, after the meeting with A&P the other night, they're planning to do 60,000 per year. Is that right? Was that, you know what, I can't think of the man, sorry, the man's name. Isn't that what they stated? Ben, yes. I think that's what I've got down. So we're looking at about a $86,000 difference that we're looking at covering per year.
And I'm just gonna say, I know this is a lot to throw at the council tonight. Just throw this idea out there at you, give you time to process it, think about it, and maybe a couple weeks, join back together to see, because I would rather not put it off to November. And that way you can also hear back from people on what their thoughts are. But I think we're gonna find that they want the bridge lit. That's just my opinion, on the bridge. So, because I know, like I said, it is a lot thrown at you. Bob will be more than glad to give his information out, his contact information, as well as ESG will as well. So anybody's thoughts on that?
I do have one question, Roxy. The maintenance of the system, who's gonna be responsible for that?
It would be the city, but there's a year warranty on the installation of labor. And then fixtures are warranted and cables would be warranted for 5 years after that, or five total years, 3 years on the control system. Anyway, but yeah, the maintenance, if a fixture fails in year 3 or 4 or something like that, then we would probably be looking at Michael to tackle it. But again, we kind of looked at that as far as the safety standpoint, ease of reaching in from the roadway instead of on the arches.
Is there any yearly, type of maintenance that has to be done, or just if the section goes out, then it needs replaced? Is there any yearly?
Other than maybe cleaning lenses or something like that, that would be about it.
Are these an RGB light or an RGBW light?
RGB
best guess on like maintenance on a system this size, what would you, just a number you might throw out there, what we're looking at per year to take care of this past the warranty period?
Past the warranty period, I could research it a little bit more, but.
I just want an idea of what we're looking at down the road past when, you know, kinda, you buy a car, your warranty's up, and how much are we gonna have to cover when we start having problems? Yes.
I mean, I could see it being a couple grand or something like that.
That's doable. I mean, that's not out of the question, so. I wouldn't, like $10,000 or $15,000, $20,000 a year would be different, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
LED lights have come a long way,
Yes.
and they're very, they have a lot longer shelf life than what your current system has, as we said earlier.
I agree.
Even LED lights from 5 years ago have really gotten improved in that short time. I mean, when you go buy an LED light 5 years ago for your house, it didn't last that long. Now they never go out, so.
There is, I mean, one of the reasons we like the 5-year warranty on them is a lot of electronics and stuff, that there's gonna be a failure and it's gonna fail within, you know, very soon, you know, within a year.
Okay.
So having that 5-year warranty on it gets them burnt in and that.
Thank you.
Do we have a written estimate bid, whatever, more than just $1 million on this project? Something else to look at? Sure, I mean, we can break that down.
Something more itemized.
Yeah. I'd like to see that. I'll be honest, as being the lighting man of this room, I'm having a hard time stomaching $1 million for bridge lights.
Yeah, I see where we've got the financing in place. That's, you know, we can get it. It's just that there's a big difference in what A&P is willing to pay and then what we're gonna have to come up with. So we need to decide, and the citizens need to decide if it's worth it to do this. That is a lot of money, and we are a small town. So,
And you could certainly close that gap on what they're paying, you know, providing and what the cost would be, but again, I think we're more comfortable instead of financing something over 20 years.
no, I don't wanna do that.
Yeah, that's the only way to close that gap.
Absolutely
All of a
not.
sudden, you're like,
No.
you don't wanna be paying for something
I'll
on debt, you know, it's obviously already, so that's why we kinda focus on that 10.
Right.
The franchise taxes that you quoted here in this proposal, though, are existing franchise taxes.
Exactly.
That's something they're already doing something with that money,
That's
so they're gonna have to quit doing whatever it was with that money to pay this bond.
There's a budget impact, absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. And then if the franchise taxes were increased, the utilities are gonna pass that along to the consumer, and so the citizens of Ozark are gonna end up paying more too.
Sometimes you will see that, and I don't know the last time that y'all have increased the franchise fee taxes.
Right, I don't even.
Do you have any idea?
Not since I've been on.
Vernon, do you maybe remember?
Yep.
It has, hasn't it?
Did somebody say that it wasn't free?
We just had a revenue increase, and I believe part of that revenue increase was some of them franchises we caught that wasn't paying.
That wasn't paying their,
I believe is where that come from.
That jump up to the 400.
Yes.
Yeah, and no, that's a significant increase in 1
Yeah.
year, so,
Yeah, we caught some franchisees that wasn't paying, so.
good.
Melinda.
I would like to say a franchise tax on our utility bills is already astronomical. Mine has gone up and up. Really, it's been going up, and it's been far closer to the limit, and it still goes up. So I think y'all need to think about that, especially the elderly, and then low income people.
So, oh, Becky, I'm sorry, couldn't see your hand.
Okay, the other night, was Gary Stubblefield working with the state on a grant to help with this?
They are trying to find grant money, yes, they are. Not only Gary, but, Westerman's office is trying to find money as well.
Are they able to give an update on where that's at and are we sure that they're actively, working on it?
I know that Westerman's office is, as far as Gary, I'm going on his word. He sent a message that said, I'm working on it. And his last phrase to me was, be patient.
Yeah. Okay, well, that could some.
Yes, it could, and that's what we're hoping for.
Well, that might clear a lot of people's minds.
And as well as the Parks and Tourism, Mark Berry suggested that we possibly reach out to them through the governor's office because of the bridge being the tourist attraction that it is, to see what they could do as well.
Did the A&P come up with any more money?
We would have to talk to Ben about that, I don't
I'm
know.
not answering that one.
No, that's for Ben.
Thank you.
If it did, it would be cheaper for us.
Right,
Right,
right.
so I just didn't know if that was an option, or they said at what?
Like you said, I agree with you that we need to all have more discussion of this and maybe meet at a later date, but not wait until November.
Okay.
And see how the rest of the citizens feel, what everybody's thinking, and, maybe have a special.
Well, and that way, if the council, any of y'all have questions, you,
Mhm.
I have both their contact information as well as Bob's, so I'll be glad to give that to y'all. I'll
Like
email it to you.
Charlie was saying, we need a breakdown on what
Okay.
we're buying.
Gary did say too in that last communication, that he was 100% supportive.
Yes,
of the
wanting it
project.
to happen,
Mhm.
he did. So I told him that he needed to come up with the money.
The support what you need is money.
Yeah. Okay, so are y'all okay on that? Come up with another, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Should you go? Yes.
I'm
Okay,
freezing to
guys,
death.
thank you all, and if you need to get your stuff, please feel free to
Thanks, Bob.
get it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Y'all will meet again in a couple weeks or anything update?
I will, yeah, we'll keep in touch.
Like to sneak out stuff.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate y'all.
We have lights now.
Okay, can someone turn the lights back up so we don't go? Thank you, Shay. Whoa.
Oh, that's
There we
Okay,
go.
maybe down a little bit. Ooh.
Yeah, now you're under the spotlight.
Okay. So you have, your copy of this is the lease from the drug court. I just wanted you all to see that. It has come, normally they had done it 5 years at a time. They asked to do it now at a year at a time. I think, not sure why they want to do that, but, that is coming up, and I just wanted to make sure that you all were aware of that. If you had any suggestions or anything you wanted to see different done in that? If
Okay,
not,
this new one shows where they'll take care of the maintenance on the building when they,
yes, we are in discussion. If you will look back on the second page, the relocation of the dumpsters from the parking lot, that was taken care of Thursday. The light, now on those lights, because I know that was a big thing with us having to call the street department to go and change a light bulb in the bathroom was ridiculous.
yeah.
This was lights, the balances and
Okay.
stuff, so that's what that
Major
was.
Major components. not
Right,
yeah.
right. We are having some discussion over number 2, because, and I've asked to see their original contract, because to mine and Michael's knowledge, they have never mowed or kept the grounds up down there. So, they're asking for that to be done, but she should, I'm hoping to have that by Wednesday. I will look at that before I sign the contract.
Yeah, generally, if somebody
Forward that to me. when you get it.
Oh, yeah,
somebody rents a place, they
yes.
have to take care of, mow the grass.
Yeah. Okay. Just wanted, that was some information. The next one, hang on just a second here. Brian Christian reached out to me the 1st of September, letting me know that the lease that they had with the Armory building on the east end of town that was signed by the city, between the city and the Armory, May of 1949, for 99 years, that they no longer needed the building. I'll be honest with you, I was shocked that it was our building. Can't find any paperwork on that except what they sent us. So, first part of last week, the department heads and I, we went down, toured the building. Guys, back me up or tell me if I'm wrong, but the building's in excellent shape. It really is. There's 3 windows that have, looks like softballs had gone through them several years ago. Because of our insurance, we have to have an appraisal done on that. I've reached out to Harmon's at the suggestion of the Harbor family. They suggested that we reach out there, and he is going to come sometime this week and give us an appraisal so we can get that building on our insurance. So I just wanted to let you know that we have inherited that, and the guys are coming up with different ideas of things that they would like to see with it. That's the problem with that building, is there's very limited parking space around it. Because if you notice, right behind it is where the food pantry is being built. So we're very limited on the parking there. I will tell you, someone asked if we could scoot the fence in and allow some parking, but I don't think we can do that either. But, just wanted to let y'all know that we have another building, another old building.
And it's a nice building.
It is nice, and if any of you wanna look at it, Michael and I'll be glad to give you a key, or we can go with you and let you look at it, so. Merry Christmas to us. I will say it's in better shape than the Kimbrough building, that's all I'll say.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. All right, next on the agenda is, ordinance to amend the November 2024 city council meeting from November the 11th to November the 12th in honor of Veterans Day. We did this last year. We are going to this year, when we set our dates, we're gonna pay attention to the calendar so we don't have to come back and do this. So I do believe you have the ordinance in your packet, and I need a motion to read, please.
This will be ordinance 2024-14.
So we did change that to 14, please. Okay, I need a motion to read.
I made a motion.
I'll second.
Yeah.
Minor?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Melton?
Yes.
Baker? Tyler?
Yes.
Being enacted by the City Council of the City of Ozark, Arkansas, an ordinance entitled, an ordinance changing the regular meeting date of the Ozark City Council for the month of November 2024, whereas the City Council has passed an ordinance setting its regular meeting on the second Monday of each month, and whereas the second Monday of November 2024 is a federal and state holiday, being Veterans Day, now therefore be it enacted, Section 1, the regular meeting of the City Council of Ozark for November 2024 shall be on Tuesday, November 12th, 2024 at 5:30 p.m. in the council room at City Hall in Ozark. Section 2, whereas the regular meeting of the City Council is required to consider and act upon the city's business, this ordinance is necessary for the preservation of the peace, health, and safety of the citizens of Ozark, and emergencies hereby declared, and this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage.
Need a motion to dispense with the second and third reading and read by title only, please.
So moved.
Second.
Second that.
Tyler?
Yes.
Baker?
Yes.
Melton?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Minor?
Yes.
Meyer?
Yeah.
An ordinance changing the regular meeting date of the Ozark City Council for the month of November 2024. An ordinance changing the regular meeting date of the Ozark City Council for the month of November 2024.
Need a motion to approve, please.
Motion to approve. Go ahead, sir. I'll second.
Baker?
Yes.
Melton?
Yes.
Meyer?
Yeah.
Meyer?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Tyler?
Yes.
All right, next on the agenda is the condemnation of property at 210 Austin Street. Devin, I'm going to ask if you'll come forward, please. Okay, if you want to just start with the council and tell them where we are with this one, please.
So the property located at 210 Alston has been vacant for a while. Back in 2017, we started looking at trying to do something with it, trying to find the owners. Found out that both owners were deceased. The person paying the property tax was a daughter that lives in Van Buren. We was able to make contact with her. We've sent several letters. We've had several phone calls with her. She's like, she's disabled. She'll get down here and try to do something when she can, and we're still at the same point. The grass is growing up. There's 2 large holes in the roof on the north side of the building. We've got neighbors complaining about the fence falling down. There's junk all over in the backyard. You can't even get up to the back door. The house is just deteriorating. So we sent several registered certified letters to her. Kevin Barman sent a letter to her. So she received it. We just haven't got anything done with it. So we decided we've been trying to get something done with the house. Yes,
So,
sir.
at this point, the city has complied with the cleanup ordinance that we've passed by giving the notices and posting on the property. All of that's been done, and the city could, by virtue of the ordinance and state law, enter in and remediate the problem, period. That could be done yesterday. However, the municipal league suggests that you go to court to do that because of the due process requirements. You know, you're taking someone's property whenever you tear down a home, albeit, a horrible home that nobody could live in, but nonetheless, you're still taking property. So they do suggest that you go to court and get it condemned under court supervision and then enter the place and remediate it. The problem with that is it's gonna cost the city to go in and bulldoze or backhoe or whatever and clean that place up. And whatever value is left is gonna be the ground. And the question is whether or not the ground's gonna be worth enough to have justified the expense. In other words, we may spend more on it than the city ever recoups, but at least you won't have the eyesore anymore.
Well, it's $7,000 to $10,000 to tear that down and haul it off.
And that may or may not include all the vegetation that needs to be trimmed, cut, and hauled off too.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you see that one picture?
Well, yeah, that would probably take care of everything.
Yeah.
What other choice do we have? I mean, that's the
Well, I mean,
problem.
you can either go in and do it now because you've complied with the requirements of the statute, and you've complied with the city ordinance. So you're ready to go in tomorrow and remediate. Or you can go to court and give her notice from the court, a summons. I've sent her notice. Devin has sent her 6 notices over the last 7 years. But I sent her most recently, September 1st or so.
It was September.
The return receipt is in there. I didn't see a copy of my letter in the package, but the return receipt from that letter is in there. And it was delivered. So you can either go in now, or you can go to court, serve her a summons. She'll have 30 days to respond. If she doesn't respond, we can put it on for a short hearing in front of the judge and get an order to clean it up.
So that's what you're recommending to do?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what the municipal league recommends, and I adhere to their advice.
We've done everything that we can do at this point. That's why I presented to you guys.
Well, let's
So if you want to authorize the suit, I just need a vote.
How long would it take us to get
Oh.
a hearing after the 30 days?
I'm sorry?
How long to get a hearing after the 30 days, roughly?
I mean, that's up to the judge.
Would be after the first year?
Not up to me, but generally, it's pretty quick. If it's uncontested, and now if she fights it or hires a lawyer, it could take, we could be here this time next year.
But she hasn't
If
really
she
responded
doesn't,
much
and does
anyway.
nothing like she's done up to this point,
I'll start to say she's been dealt
then
with since
by
2017.
maybe, if we got on this, maybe by the end of the year, we'd have a court order to tear it down.
Okay.
Couple of months, maybe, 2.5.
Well, I make a motion that we move on this property to get something done.
I'll second it.
To authorize the filing of a lawsuit.
Yes, authorize filing a lawsuit for this property at 210 Austin Street.
Okay.
Have a motion, and need a second?
I'll second it.
Yes, sorry, I was coughing.
Meyer,
Yeah.
Minor,
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Melton,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Okay. Down to our last item. If you all will remember last month, Main Street had asked to be on the agenda for a permanent entertainment district. They brought that to the council, and we suggested, after the discussion, that they have 2 public meetings, then bring it back to the council. At the Main Street Board meeting last month, they decided that they were gonna put this off until after the first of the year, the permanent entertainment district. So, at that point, then I was contacted to be on the agenda tonight for a temporary entertainment district for the Christmas on the Square. As you see, we too had to take a break, and tell you what, if anybody needs to get up, let's take about a 3-minute break, and, yeah. I didn't realize I had to go back a little bit. Welcome to come back in if you want to. So at this time, I do believe Reagan is going to come up.
Good evening, everyone. Sarah was unable to be here this evening due to an emergency at work, so my name is Reagan Harper. I am the committee chair for Christmas on the Square in Ozark. I would like to propose creating a temporary entertainment district for a one-day Christmas on the Square event in downtown Ozark. The temporary entertainment district that I am proposing will run from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Thank you. From 10.
Wow.
That one works.
Check, check.
Put it back on there.
I'm here?
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Okay. Is that better? Okay. Excuse me. The temporary entertainment district that I am proposing will run from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on December 14th, 2024 during Christmas on the Square. The boundaries shall encompass the area bound by 3rd Street, including Roy Gardner Pocket Park, Highway 64, and 1st Street, including the plaza and stage, as well as River Street. The temporary entertainment district will provide several benefits to our community. Number one, it will provide increased tourism and economic boost. By allowing open carry beverages within the district, more visitors may be drawn to the event, increasing foot traffic to local businesses, restaurants, and shops. This can result in an economic boost for small businesses that rely on holiday sales. The second benefit would be enhanced festive atmosphere. The relaxed rules on carrying beverages within the parameters of the temporary entertainment district can create a more festive and communal atmosphere, encouraging people to linger longer and enjoy the holiday atmosphere and energy. Number three, streamlined event management. Designating a temporary district with specific boundaries for alcohol consumption can help organizers manage and monitor the event more effectively. It gives law enforcement and event staff clear guidelines for regulating activities, improving safety and organization. Number four, attracting vendors and sponsors. The added draw of an entertainment district may encourage more food trucks, craft vendors, and sponsors to participate, knowing that the event is likely to have a larger and more engaged crowd. Number five, community engagement and tradition building. A one-day Christmas event with a temporary entertainment district can become a beloved tradition, fostering community pride and encouraging families to make the event an annual part of their holiday season. Number six, support for local artists and performers. A temporary entertainment district allows for more space to host live music, performances, or street entertainment. This could boost local artists and create a diverse cultural experience for attendees. The 2023 temporary entertainment district was a huge success for the Chamber. It created excitement surrounding the Christmas on the Square event that had not previously been experienced. New people joined us for the event, and vendors reported that it was one of the best events they had ever participated in. Several members of the City Council, as well as other government officials and civic leaders, also attended the festival last year and were able to view this success firsthand. In an effort to be transparent, I would like to share a few facts from the 2023 Temporary Entertainment District. Number one, no one was unruly. There was not one instance of anyone being excessive or out of control during this event. To the average attendee, it would not have been noticeable at all that beverages were available for sale unless someone specifically walked up to a vendor to purchase one. Number two, no one went outside of the parameters. Organizers closely watched the parameters to ensure everyone stayed within the boundaries. Festival attendees kept all beverages safely within set boundaries. Number three, in speaking with law enforcement, to their knowledge, there was not a single citation written, public disturbance, or motor vehicle accident the day of Christmas on the Square that was a result of the temporary entertainment district. The 2023 Temporary Entertainment District provided an extra layer of entertainment opportunity to encourage people to choose Ozark and Christmas on the Square when they could have chosen any other city that had holiday events on the same day. The 2023 Christmas on the Square was named the event of the year by the Chamber of Commerce at the annual banquet. A unique draw of the Ozark surrounding area is that we are a major artery on the Arkansas Wine Trail. We also have a fantastic variety of craft breweries in the area. Creating a temporary entertainment district for a one-day event allows us the opportunity to promote and showcase this incredible niche that very few other communities can offer. We should be using every opportunity available to us to shine a spotlight on the industries that have put our community on the map. Surrounding cities, the closest of which is Paris, Arkansas, embrace these temporary entertainment districts to add value and attract tourists to their events. Increased traffic from out of town for a festival is also an increase in revenue for our restaurants, convenience stores, retail shops, etc. Tonight, we are respectfully asking the council for your consideration to support a 2024 temporary entertainment district for Christmas on the Square. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Okay, so, well, like you were saying,
Yeah.
when we had, well, Altus has the spring gala and the wine.
Great Fest, yes.
Yeah, Great Fest. They have wine there, people walking around, everything it works out. When they had Taste of Ozark, they
Yes.
had the wineries there and they were.
Yeah, and I don't believe we do Taste of the Ozarks anymore, and that's kind of sad because we love to, brag about being in wine country. We're so proud about this, but what is one thing we do that allows the wineries to come and showcase their wines, other than sell them at our local liquor stores?
Council, y'all have any questions?
It was a good presentation.
Thank you so much.
Open it up for discussion amongst y'all. Now, I will tell you, and I talked to Kevin about this, I know it's time for you all to discuss. However, I would say 100% of the people that are on the public input are to speak on this issue. So Kevin told me that if you all want to change and let them speak before you vote, we'll have to make that happen, or that's up to you.
I'll make a motion that we let them speak. Let them speak.
Is that,
Yeah, they're here to speak, let them speak.
okay?
Need a
May I
motion
sit
and
down?
a second and a vote
Yes, motion.
to change the rules, to suspend the rules.
I'll make a motion to
Suspend the rules and allow
Suspend the
public comment
rules.
first.
first and let them speak.
I'll second the motion.
That was my own summer, the second. Summer.
Before we get started, did everyone in this room sign this piece of paper? Before you leave, I need you to sign it. Okay, I'm gonna just go down the list. Oh, you need to vote. Tell me.
Baker.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Belton.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Minor. Yes.
Okay, I'm going down the list as they signed. First is the Reverend Don Simpson, and if you all will come to the podium, please. And you, still 3 minutes. Right, yes. Just so you know, you have 3 minutes to speak.
Well, my concern to start with is our children. Especially talking about Christmas, this is their day. Does this mean they're not gonna be able to be around this area because of their age? I'll be honest with you, I don't myself like to be around someone that's drinking. You don't have to be loop-legged to get the boldness that you get from liquor. And you're gonna have vulgar language. You're going to have a tax that's made that is not right. You're going to have violence eventually. I mean, I know something. You may have these 1 or 2 events and not have a thing go wrong. But this is going to get out of hand, folks. I grant you, this will get out of hand. It'll be more than the law can handle. You know, you got your liquor stores and your beer joints, I don't know what else to call them. But they've got their bartenders, they've got their bouncers to kind of control the drinking situation. You put this out in the public like this, and who's going to control this? You're going to have more violence. You're going to have sexual harassments. You're going to have our kids in uncomfortable positions. I'm opposed to this. I don't think it ought to be done. Let them take their drinking to where it's public for them to go, or where it's designated for them to go and do their drinking, not out in front of our kids and on the public streets. I'm totally against this.
Okay, next is Kevy Harbor.
Hello, everyone. I'm here today in support of the temporary entertainment district. I think the things that Mr. Simpson spoke on, a lot of things that he said would be things that were already illegal. Harassment's illegal. I mean, there's going to be law enforcement there if those types of things arise. I've been to many cities with permanent entertainment districts, and I just see that it's very well controlled. That their revenues have increased because their downtown area is booming. Those things like that can help with our tax revenue to be able to light the bridge and maybe not be able, we can afford it then. So I'm in support of it. I'm in support for it, thinking that it'll bring retail to our city. That even with the, like he's talking about the children, I know that I take my kids to the Mexican restaurant. They're serving beer, wine, and the mixed drinks. Or is it out of hand? Do you notice? Do you take your children there? So I'm just here to support it, and I give my remaining time to Nathan Rodriguez.
All right, next is Nathan Rodriguez. You have 4 minutes and 47 seconds. Don't start till I get this fixed, please. Okay.
My name is Nathan Rodriguez. I'm the owner of Heathens, SR Incorporated, downtown Ozark, Arkansas. We've been open for almost 17, maybe 18 months, with 80% of our business being tourist, not local. We don't serve alcohol. We haven't been supported by Ozark. This is a huge problem in Ozark, is we don't get support. Temporary entertainment district, a permanent entertainment district, this adds foot traffic to downtown. My 80% of tourists always come in and say, wow, this is amazing. Why is there nobody here? That's pretty embarrassing to me and my partners that invested almost $300,000 into that building. I know that I'm friends with every business owner downtown. I'm here supporting business owners downtown because they couldn't make it tonight. Whether it be my wife, Sarah Rodriguez, Steve Woodard, Marty, multiple business owners that invest every day into this downtown. We've heard these things from the community. We've been bashed. If I could show you my inbox from locals, you wouldn't be proud of your town. You wouldn't be proud to call yourself a Christian. I am a Christian. I'm a recovered alcoholic of 5 years. I owned a liquor store in this town. I've owned 5 businesses in this town. What we're saying is we need increased foot traffic. We need more businesses, or the condemning topic that you were on prior to this, we're gonna have more meetings about those. I've been in those buildings downtown, have you? Some of you haven't been in my building. You're here representing this community, and I ask that you hear me speak for all of us. We need help. We need to come together as a community and support local. Having an open container in public, that doesn't mean that we don't have to follow ABC laws. Here again, I don't serve alcohol, but I am familiar with ABC laws. I can't serve to somebody that's very intoxicated. I can't let them walk out of my establishment. I have to be responsible. And that is something that we have done with BYOB. If you're not familiar, that's bring your own beer into our business for the past 18 months without one fight. Kids love our establishment. There's never been one altercation, anybody raising their voice. It's never set a bad example to our youth. All the time I see bad examples set to our youth that has nothing to do with alcohol. What I'm asking for is we allow tourists to come into this town to start supporting this town. Things like A&P, let's increase that tax. Let's increase that revenue with more tourists coming into our town that can help us afford to buy things for our town. I don't claim to know what you guys do for a living, but I'm a nursing home administrator and I manage almost $1 million a month. I just repaired an elevator for $200,000 in a small building. So I understand making big purchases, investments. We're asking the city to start investing into local businesses. We're asking for your support. If you can't frequent my business because you don't want to frequent my business because it's named Heathens, it was named Heathens because of the Battle of Vikings. It wasn't named that because I'm a pagan. I'm a believer and I'm at church every Sunday. If you would like to join me, I would love that. I'm here if you guys want to talk to me outside of here. I've been at Heathens every Friday and Saturday for the past 17, 18 months. And before that, prior to that, working on it by myself with my family every day. And I've watched Ozark. There's nobody downtown. It's a ghost town. I know you guys are at home. I know you're not downtown. I know you don't see it because I'm there every weekend. We need help. We need more people. We want our kids to have something to be proud of when we're done. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Right, Crystal Wright. Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I want to start by thanking Reagan and Sarah for working on this proposal. I feel that they have listened to both sides of the aisle on this and came up with a great compromise. As a parent, it is my job to model healthy habits for my child, whether that be a relationship with food, the opposite sex, people with differing opinions, or drinking. It is my responsibility to teach my child healthy boundaries. I visit local establishments with my child that serve alcohol, brewery that his dad manages, Rivertown, and El Puerto, and have not once that felt my child was in danger because there was a drink in attendance. I have attended multiple functions at St. Mary's and do not feel pressure to drink just because others were. I grew up 3 blocks from the Grape Fest in Altus, and never once was I in danger because alcohol was present on their square. I never once protested because I knew that each person has their own responsibility to monitor themselves. I trust in our local law enforcement to make sure that fun can be had without it be taken too far. I trust every single elected official up here to adjust when things are needed for the betterment of this community. We love to brag that we're close to the wine capital of Arkansas with local breweries and wineries. We even include them in our Airbnb local postings. Chamber of Commerce marketing, our Main Street Ozark Eat, Shop, Visit, etc. Yet it's an uproar if we allow those same people to serve what makes us famous at a local festival. I know the potential this entertainment district can have on restoration of downtown if we could work together to capitalize on it. By encouraging more people to come to our events, it shows others what a great community we have here. I love this community, and I have attended events that I'm not even interested in just to show support and encourage them to grow. For example, I attended a car show last month. I purchased my vehicle in February, and I have not opened the hood of my vehicle once because I'm not interested. Yet, I showed up, and every person that came to that car show contributed to local revenue in some way. This too could be yet another event that gives diversity and relieves some of the tax burdens from our local residents. I can count on one hand how many times I've had more than one drink in the past year by choice. And even with me choosing to not partake often, I still see the need to be inclusive in order to grow the community that I love so much. Thank you.
Michelle Brown. Ready?
Sure. Okay. Hi, I'm Michelle Brown. I need a little bit more than 3 minutes, but I'm going to try to condense this. First of all, I think our city needs to start with some long-range planning, and I would even suggest that maybe the city council and the chamber and Main Street seek some professional development where we could get together and look at long-term planning. Okay, economic development is a major issue. Are you aware that $98 million was just released in Arkansas 4 weeks ago to be spent on children and education in Arkansas? Nathan, I think that we could look at business plans that would improve our economic vitality, but it would also feed our children with their mind and with families and bring people in. I know there's a lot of opportunity out there that we're not capitalizing on. We all hurt from that. And I understand that. But I do not think for 1 second that open container alcohol on the public sidewalks in our beloved Pocket Park and on the square and around our children at Christmas and with, when they're doing all of their stuff with Santa, I don't think that that is going to help anything. I think this is an open door. I think the last one was a political ploy. It was put in the paper on Wednesday, voted unanimously on Monday. We really didn't have an idea to know what it was or how to even implement it. So it's really not anything to look back at and say, hey, this was a good test run. It wasn't. The public didn't even know what was going on. It was a political ploy that did benefit, heathens, because his wife was the one who presented it when she was with the chamber. And my daughter's good friends with them, and I hope that doesn't affect anything.
I wasn't open, just so you know.
Okay. So thank you. So anyways, I just want to let y'all know that El Dorado was the second in Arkansas to do an entertainment district of sorts. And just in July, you can look this up in the newspapers, the former president of Main Street, Choate, and the police chief were begging the city council to repeal it. And after multiple meetings, in fact, they did. Citing over 20 people were arrested in just one night, multiple upticks in juvenile arrests, and people are, and I quote, hiding and drinking in the dark. So although it may be okay for 1 minute, I think the direction of it is dangerous. And I think it could end up in a bad situation. I think we need to work smarter and go ahead and try to do economic improvements in a longer range and better planned manner, for sure. I'm happy to work with anybody on this idea with the Arkansas Department of Education funding that was just released. I think it's a huge opportunity that we need to take advantage of. I promise you, everyone else in Arkansas is. I've been in a lot of meetings the past few weeks. Even some people here in Ozark are already approved vendors for this, okay? The citizens have a right for ample opportunity. We weren't given the 90 days public opportunity, and that is a big concern. I say slow our roll and let our citizens vote. If this is so important, let's take this to a special vote. Thank you.
Joanne, help me on this. It just has your and Brenda's name, and then it just says yes to Joanne.
I'm the only one that wanted to speak.
Okay,
so
okay.
I didn't know.
Okay,
I
that's
just
fine.
know the page.
Okay, that's fine.
So I'm next.
Yes, please.
Well, first, I'm Joanne Perea, but before I speak to the entertainment district, when you had the presentation about the bridge, just brought to my attention that I've been trying to talk to, some of you in here might have a contact with RDOT, which I've been trying to talk to them for 30 years about erosion. We live right next to the river bridge and the highway, and there's erosion that comes off the bridge, and before we bought our property 30 years ago, 2/3 of our rock wall fell because of the erosion, and it's getting worse. And if you look at it, the erosion is right next to the highway, so it really needs immediate attention. I just don't know who to talk to about it. So, and also I did want to thank you for voting to give public input, because that was one of the concerns I had, that you vote without public input. So, thank you. And I'm out of breath for walking. I'm really out of shape after hurting my knee. I'm in terrible shape. But I think that we all have the same objective here. We all care about our town. We care about the economic growth of our town. And I appreciate every person here who cares and is speaking. You know, we don't agree on how what that should look like. But I think we could figure out a way to work together and still love each other with our differences. I'm a no on it because I've seen the effects of alcoholism, and I know there's I have people in my family who drink responsibly. I have people in my family who don't drink responsibly. I mean, there's just different levels. And I know people who have been abused because of alcoholism. So I don't take that lightly. And I'm not opposed to not drinking. You know, I go to the restaurants that serve alcohol, but I do want to stand with the people that maybe don't want to be around alcohol. You know, they might not choose to go to those restaurants. I don't know. But I do know people who have said that they wouldn't want to go to the events that are public during the entertainment district. I don't understand alcohol at 10 in the morning. I think if our city was in a situation where the businesses that serve alcohol were, you know, like a Bourbon Street situation, that you know what you're getting into when you get there, but I don't think our city's laid out that way. We have the pocket park and we have public sidewalks, and so I would just ask the council to consider that and vote a no, and let's look at other ways to draw people in, because we might draw some people in for the alcohol, but I think the same dollars we're going to be pushing people out because they won't want to bring their families. So I just would like to speak for the families. Thank you.
Okay, that is all that I have on here that has marked for public input. So, council? Well, that was after 5:30. So if we pick it up, and that's what our ordinance says is at 5:30, I'm sorry. Do we need any discussion? Are we y'all ready to vote?
If they're going to consider it.
Okay. So we
And it needs
have.
to be amended. I mean, this isn't really an ordinance.
To say that you were in attendance, because now with this, I have to know who was in this room. You see what I'm saying? I mean, there were people here that came in before 5:30 that did not get it signed. Okay. Huh?
There wasn't an
They wrote up the side, and you can flip it on the back too. Okay, so what are you saying? Need to what?
We need an ordinance read if they're going to discuss it.
You all have the temporary entertainment district ordinance, the sheet you handed out. It looks like this, it's single sheet.
I got two of them.
I didn't see this there. It would have been in more better form.
Do y'all have yours?
Yeah.
Y'all have one? Okay, I need a motion to read.
I'll make a motion to read.
I need a second.
I'll second it.
Tyler?
No.
Is that done?
Meyer?
Yeah.
Minor?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Melton?
No.
Baker?
No.
So 4-2 passes?
No, it's 3-3 pass.
Oh, well, then
3
you
to
get
3.
to the deciding vote. Congratulations,
Just
if
to
you
read
choose
it?
to do it, otherwise it fails. You could just not vote and it would fail.
I'm gonna say something. And I've said this to a couple of people, especially in my house. And it was brought up some tonight. It is so sad that it takes something like this for everybody to rally in together and to have different opinions. This room should have been full, and you guys.
Ms. Brown, your camera is a violation of our ordinance.
We had an opportunity for the city to get rid of an asset, and evidently only 5 citizens reached out to our council members, which is very sad. I think there's probably the same 5 citizens, but we listened to 5 people and lost something that could have been very beneficial for this city. You want to talk about growth and businesses, that was something. But yet we have something like this that has absolutely caused chaos. I know every council member up here, which is great, all of our phones have rang, our emails, it's been crazy. This has absolutely caused me to lose sleep, okay? Because I see the side of, yes, we've got to do something. I talked to the mayor and a council member from Mountain Home, and they were in the same shape that we were downtown, okay? Empty buildings, no businesses, no growth. They implemented an entertainment district, and they go visit them. They are booming there, okay? But then I also know, I know the effects of the alcohol. I had an uncle that died because of the drinking. So, and when I took my oath, it was to do what is best for the city of Ozark and the citizens. And one thing that my father told me, that when I first went into office as a council member, he said, when you quit listening to the people, then it's time for you to leave office, okay? I'm going to tell you, and it's difficult. It is very difficult. But, and I'll be glad to show you on my phone, because normally after I get an issue taken care of, I delete my emails and I delete my voice messages. But this is not over yet. And so I'll be glad to show you my phone, show you the text, and show you the emails. But 85% of the people that reached out to me were expressing their opinion of no. They did not want this for our city. That's hard, guys. And if none of you have ever been in a place where you have to make a decision, and yes, we're elected, that's what we get paid to do, yeah, think again. Because I didn't see a one of you, not a one of these people had an opponent this year. but everybody's back and quick to judge. Okay? So you need to think about that too, when the fingers start pointing. So because of the advice of my father, because that's where I feel like I am here, is to serve the public and listen to the people. Now, were there people that were for it and assumed I was going to take a stand? Yeah, there were, because there were several of you, there's a couple of you in this room that just felt the need to put that on Facebook. Give me your opinion. What you all do not know is my opinion cannot be known until these guys have voted, because I cannot take a chance of swaying their vote. So just for future references, don't do that to me again. Do not put me in that situation, because you're not going to know. Some of you walked in this room tonight thinking you knew, but you didn't, because I've tried to be as non-biased to it as I could possibly be. Do I want the growth for this city? You dang right I do. Because just like the bridge, we need the money. We need what is coming in here. That's what's best for the city. But then am I supposed to listen to the people? I am. So my vote is...
Well, you're not having a vote if you want to vote no. You just don't do anything and it fails.
Okay. Then I don't do anything.
You may refuse to vote and then it fails.
Okay. So I've spoke my opinion. I'm sure I will hear from, and that's okay. Because like I think Joanne said, there are things in this city, guys, we could come together, so much more important things to pull together instead of some of you not getting your right information and going on Facebook and think you know it all. That needs to stop, because that is not what is best for Ozark. You get half of the story and you get 1,700 people stirred up about it. So if you want your opinion and you want to get on Facebook, you get the facts, you get copies of our ordinances. You go to the people who's dealt with it and not get halfway through it. So now we go to announcements. We had a very successful fall cleanup. Curbside went very smooth. Paul at the transfer station said that he did not have any customer issues. We had 62 people that took truckloads or things out to the station, and then they had 5 trailer loads. So very successful. I don't think, did y'all have to go back much, Michael, and pick up anything?
No, one house.
One house. And so commend the citizens for doing that. They did an excellent job. Scare on the Square is October 31st from 6 to 8. We invite you and your families to come out for a great time. Police Department is going to be out handing out candy, and this year we're going to have a booth with the city employees that will be handing out candy as well. The Fire Department will be handing out hot dogs at the fire station on School Street. As we talked earlier, the windows are coming along great at the community center. If you have not been out by Hillbilly Roundup, the loop, you need to go out there, because our part of the sidewalk is almost finished. And from the corner in, the school, with the help of Black Hills Energy, will finish the sidewalks, and that is a big safety issue for our kids. If you've not been out there after a ball game, we are very fortunate that some kids have not been hit. So thank people that have got involved in that. Community Center, or the food pantry, is coming right along. I know we keep talking about the park out here with our grant that we got, and we are just waiting on to hear back from Mr. Rusty Peoples. That's kind of like some other things. Everything happens, and then you have to wait for the red tape to go through. So that we are going to have that, and just so you remember, they're going to completely redo the bathrooms where they will be handicap accessible, and we're hoping to have enough equipment left, or money left, for some playground equipment by the splash pad. The community center is going to be having a pumpkin painting contest. Now notice I said pumpkin painting, not carving. So Brooke does not want any carved pumpkins in there. So I think, let me see, okay, the deadline is October 25th. There's no age limit, correct? So anybody, if you're bored at home, decorate a pumpkin. That's your open field. The winner, first place winner, gets a year membership free to the center. Second place gets 6 months. Third place will receive a 3-month membership, and the online favorite will receive a treat bag. So, and then we are also going to move those pumpkins down to the Scare on the Square so people can get to see all the talented artwork that people have. So I have one other thing. The city of Ozark is extremely blessed with outstanding leaders in what we have as our department heads. They lead by example and they give 110% all the time. They're willing to do whatever is asked of them, and I have yet, in my 6 years, have yet to have one of them look at me and say, that is not my job. Even though I can promise you there are times they could have very easily said that to me, and you all know that you could have. I'm so thankful for what they do, their dedication to their job, to you as citizens, to this community, and to you department heads. I know you probably wondered, why didn't she ask me who the employee of the quarter was this time? But I would like for each one of you to come to the front. Brooke Rawson, Devin Bramlett, Nick Trotter, and Michael Brassett. Y'all sit for a second. Yeah, you have to sit for just a second. So guys, if you don't know these gentlemen and ladies, this is our fire chief, Nick Trotter, Devin Bramlett, police chief. Brooke is over our community center, and Michael is the guy with the streets. Just because you see him and know him now, don't fuss at him tonight. Just let him enjoy this time. But guys know that we do, that I appreciate y'all and appreciate what you do for the city. So, if nothing else, I need a motion
Rox,
to.
I got something real quick.
Okay.
I encourage everybody, if they haven't yet, to sign up for the Ozark app. Brooke has done a great job with that. It's available out there, and I encourage everybody to sign up and use it. That's where you'll get most of your information about city stuff. It's a good tool. Thank you, Roxy.
Okay.
I have something too, Roxy.
Okay.
With the loss of our local paper, which we all hate, I would like to know what's the proper way to do our meetings now as far as notifications, and how do we do that?
The graphic reached out to us, and, well, let me back up. Before they reached out to us, I had called the municipal league, and we were told that we could do the 5 public locations. So we did the community center, Harps, the library, courthouse, and the chamber. Thank y'all. See, this is, so we got it posted, had all the information there. They're on bright yellow pieces of paper. And then the lady from the graphic graciously came and told us that we had to use her. And Vernon is now employed by the graphic. So he will be reporting for the council meetings. They will not do the committee meetings. They will not be there for that. And anything else? They have FOIA the information they want every time we have an ordinance that is to come to them.
Okay.
So is anything else on that I need to, because she sent both of us that. Anything you want to say?
No, Randy, in answer to your question, if you want to email those to the graphic, I'm not sure what they'll use, but at least you will fulfill the FOIA.
Okay, what's the time limit on, or the times for those
Okay,
done.
they want everything by 5 o'clock on Friday, and I'll give, well, get the email address to anybody that wants it. Put it news, all lowercase, at thegraphic.org. All lowercase, all right together. News at thegraphic.org.
Okay.
What day does that paper come out?
The paper comes out on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, those of you who get it online, it's available usually, but, during the noon hour on Tuesday. You get it on Tuesday if you're online. The printed copy does come out Wednesday morning.
And council, that is something that, I pulled the ordinance this afternoon. In November, we are going to have to change that because it says in order for someone to get on the agenda, they have to be on by noon on Monday the week before. We've got to change that now for the graphic by Friday at 5. We're actually gonna say 4 because we are not here till 5 o'clock, so that would.
One other thing in regard to that.
Or say noon, so you can get it to them by 5.
I had hoped, as a matter of fact, they told me at first, if I was willing to burn the midnight oil, they'd get it in this week's paper. Now, I was willing to do so. But they found out now that in effect, they're trying to get out 2 city council meetings, Clarksville council meets on Monday night too. They say it's impossible to get both of them in, so we'll be a week late, and I'm assuming Clarksville council will be a week late, but I know we're going to do that. I was willing to burn midnight oil, but I can't blame them for not wanting to put out of effect forcing 2 papers in one night. That's a lot for them.
And I'm just gonna say one other thing. Those of you that have watched this live and out at home, forgive me. On top of everything else, I get to control this little box. So, and that switches it back and forth. So that's my fault. So when people fuss about it, blame it on me. I did it. I need a motion to adjourn, please.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Meyer? Meyer?
I didn't hear what you said.
Meyer?
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn.
Yes.
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 What's your name?
Milton.
And
Yes.
what's your-
Yes.
Holler.
You can go home.
Okay, we're adjourned.
Okay.